Good morning. This is your Nassau Guardian News Update for Friday, November 14th, 2025. Our top story. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard is pressing the government for answers after claiming that a bag of Bahamian passports was found on board a Bahamasair flight headed south and that people were fired following an internal investigation. Pintard told supporters at a rally in Dignity Gardens that the public deserves to know the truth, saying the story was too ridiculous to ignore, and challenged the government to explain whether there is a racket going on. But the office of the Prime Minister quickly dismissed his assertion, stating that the Commissioner of Police, the Chief Passport Officer, and the leadership of Bahamasair all confirmed that no such incident occurred. The OPM said there was no report, no investigation, and no staff member dismissed, calling Pintard's claim without connection to the truth. In other political news, with the Golden Isles by-election approaching on November 24th, the FNM is accusing the governing PLP of 4 years of failure in the constituency. Pintard told supporters that the PLP is fighting for its political survival, saying the government is pouring resources into the area in a last-minute push. Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson confirms that 283 voters are registered for Monday's advanced poll, including senior citizens, law enforcement, poll workers, and those with special circumstances. The advanced poll will be held at Remnant Tabernacle of Praise Church from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Turning to other national news. A barge named the Brooklyn Bridge, loaded with containers, ran aground on a reef off Abaco during rough weather. The Port Department says divers have already assessed the damage, and a response team is monitoring the operation as attempts are underway to pull the vessel off the reef. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper is defending the upcoming Royal Beach Club on Paradise Island, saying the project will be a win-win for the country. He says the facility is expected to attract up to 1,000 tourists a day and will not harm downtown Nassau, adding that all operations associated with the club must be Bahamian-owned under the project agreement. In court news, Samuel Meadows, used in the 2023 murder of Keith Barr, has abandoned his fourth bid for bail. Judges previously denied his applications over fears he may reoffend. In a separate case, the jury in the trial of Donald Tucker, accused of robbing a Subway restaurant downtown, was discharged after it was discovered that Tucker previously worked with one of the jurors. A new trial will be set. The Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture has announced a record 34 schools will participate in this year's Junior Junkanoo Parade, sponsored by Sol Petroleum and Scotiabank. Looking at the editorial page, the Nassau Guardian warns readers about the growing spread of digital misinformation, particularly on WhatsApp and social media, urging Bahamians to verify stories before sharing them. And in the letters section, Senator Maxine Seymour calls for stronger enforcement and more responsible dog ownership following an increase in dangerous dog attacks. Turning to business news, Wall Street suffered one of its worst days since April, with shares falling sharply on concerns about artificial intelligence stocks and rising interest rates. Traders at the New York Stock Exchange saw broad declines as investors reacted to higher borrowing costs and fears of slowing tech sector growth. In international news, Guatemala's president says his country expects new investment opportunities after tariff reductions under a revised U.S. trade framework. The agreement is expected to lower tariffs on coffee, cocoa, and bananas, with about 70% of Guatemalan exports facing zero tariffs. This has been your Nassau Guardian News Update for Friday, November 14th, 2025. Stay informed, stay safe, be blessed, and be a blessing.